I hear you very quietly, like you're talking in a can.
Well, I turned the other phone off, so
When
that's,
you turned the phone off, I heard you just fine. And then all of a sudden something changed and then I could barely
well,
hear you.
nothing changed here. I haven't changed my position. I haven't changed my position with where
Did
the phone
Jorge
is.
pick something?
No, Jorge hasn't done anything. Now he's going to do something now.
Hmm.
There's a little picture up here of the phone.
It's looking.
Here, let me.
Wait.
Why don't you let me do it? I'm right in front of it. You want me to hit this?
Read that, Meredith.
Orientation is locked.
Yeah,
Rotate
it's locked
device
now.
back.
We
Well,
could
don't we
rotate it
want to
back,
be
but then
side
we
by?
have to change the phone orientation if you put it up right. But you have it
Okay.
side by side.
Okay.
We could do that.
No, I need some.
Okay. I mean, I'd like to have it wider. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is, though.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It's either going to be one of us on top of each other or side by side.
Well, I prefer side by side, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't want you on top of me. Okay. All right. Now
We're
you
yeah.
are. It looks like, yeah, you need to move back a little bit. There you go. That looks better.
Except when I move it back, then I can barely hear you.
Oh dear.
You know what I mean?
No, we got a problem with the volume, honey.
You want me something?
He doesn't know
Can
anything.
you hear me?
He does. Yes, I can hear you. I won't say you're loud, but I can hear you fine. Can you hear me? Maybe I just need to speak up a little bit.
You're going to have to speak up, but I don't know why it's dampened. The sound is very dampened.
On your phone, can you increase the volume on your phone? Or would that have anything to do with it?
It's okay. They're working.
Okay, let me try.
She can't hear me,
Okay.
honey. He said, it's fine. He wants to run away. He said, everything's fine. It's fine, except you can't hear what I'm saying. So I'm talking really loud.
I can kind of hear. If we take turns, and it's just sometimes I'm going to be close because I'm trying to hear.
Well, that's terrible.
Well, we're on.
Okay.
Okay.
We're here. So does this mean that anybody in the world can hear us right now? If
Probably.
Stumble across us.
Probably.
Look at those two idiots. Well, you know what?
We actually got on.
You know, in my opinion, if you're trying to do something and you don't give up and you just keep trying, eventually you're going to get it.
Yep.
Probably not in all cases. Maybe
so
we're
here
okay
we are.
Now. Here we are. Well, what did we want to talk about now that we're here?
I don't know if we expected to be successful.
No, I think we expected to fail again. That's what I think.
Well, how many times have we tried this, Mary Lou?
Oh, gosh. Well, you just saw some dates way back in February, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 23rd, 24th, and 26th.
Okay. So we're in April now. So I would say
yes,
it's been weeks that we've been trying to do this. So
yeah, we
don't know
did
how
our little jot together.
We don't know how to act being successful.
Yes.
Okay. So, well, what were we talking about that we wanted your goodbye, honey? He's so happy to go. This is so stressful. Hey, turn the light off, will you?
Well, this is your show, so you start it where you want it, Mary Lou.
Okay. All right. Can you tell the difference in the lighting now? Can you tell the difference in the lighting?
Yeah, I kind of liked it more better.
Oh, okay. Will you turn it back on? Okay. You like that better?
Yeah, that's much better.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm hoping that he can edit this first part out.
Oh,
So
maybe.
I would say
it's okay. I'm not embarrassed.
let's just start at the beginning. Hi, everybody. I'm Mary Lou. This is my channel. And this is my friend Meredith, who I've been wanting to interview like this on Go Live Together for, I'd say, probably about 6 weeks. So here we are together, and now we don't know how to act now that we're successful. So here we are.
I think being ourselves is good.
Well, how do you feel? How do you feel about the book now, the Book of Nakala? We've been through quite a bit together. I mean, I would say that since November, not last year, but the year before, was when we started to develop everything. Right?
It's a year and a half ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like I'm just learning stuff all of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't say as I stumble across this information, I think it's being, it's being fed to me, because book number 3 is not done yet. So there's things that can go in there. But I think we did pretty well for the information that we had to get the book, to get the kingdom built, our kingdom that we built together. based on
supernaturally.
Based on fact.
Yeah, came about.
So what do you think we got right about the resurrected saint?
I think it was timely that we would discuss something and say, okay, we want, I believe that the kingdom is situated this way. And then the next thing you know, we're learning something tangible that confirmed the direction we were going.
Right. And I think, yes, absolutely. And I think many times I would be writing and I would get an idea that I had never thought of before. And I go, whoa, that's a good idea. I'm going to write that in. But I've told you over and over.
I remember when we were first starting, just what does the kingdom look like? Like, what does this millennial kingdom look like? And remember when I was trying to draw out the different cities on the piece of paper? Like, okay, there's. You don't remember that?
No, but I remember, being hesitant to name any city. I did the Bethany thing for a reason, and I think it was because of Lazarus. I don't know. I think I wanted the cathedral to be a cathedral, a Lazarus. Okay. But see, that didn't get named right away. That wasn't named until Christ came to visit, because remember, we had Christ comes to each one in person of these cathedrals and reviews the work. And it's a big celebration, and the whole town participates in this. Yes. And when they built temporary housing, like a whole temporary housing for anybody that came to visit. So they would have a big deal when Christ came, because everybody could come and see him. Right?
Yeah, I think one of the most endearing things of the development is just the focus, the families that we have, and how families should be, and how close knit our families are within the book, and just close knit in Jesus. It's all about Jesus. It's all about Yahushua and what he brings to a blessed living in family atmosphere. And I think you capture that very well.
Well, what I enjoyed was the relationship with the women that go out there in the morning onto the veranda, and that's their meeting place. But they have other meeting places when they have certain ones that are grieving for some reason. They go down to the dock and they sit by the lake. But we do have seasons there, so it's not always summer. It's not always summer.
And the natural living, the natural rhythms of life, and the celebratory days where everybody just gets together and celebrates, Jesus, and it's just such a beautiful story.
We do show the characters having strife amongst themselves, Now, there was
little
a
bit.
big strife between Abigail and Clara over
Yeah.
Noam. Remember that? Noam was the adopted son of Clara, and Clara was the adopted daughter of Abigail.
Right.
Okay, so, but Clara was very loyal to Noam, and he was a piece of work. She adopted him, and he was pretty old. I'm going to say he was 9 or 10, I think. So he had probably already been corrupted in the outer darkness before they got him.
Yeah.
And then
Well, and I
there
think that's the important part, is that we're showing a kingdom that isn't perfection. It isn't heaven.
no, there's
It's
plenty of room for growth.
there's growth, and the mortal human beings are still mortal human beings making
Yes.
mistakes and
Yes.
making wrong choices and having to reap the consequences of that.
But having a repentant attitude, I mean, they made mistakes, but most of them, because I remember Abigail said to Simeon, who is a resurrected saint, was talking about people sinning in the city. And she said, yes, but I'm a sinner. And he said, yes, but when you sin, you make every move that you try not to do it. And if you do, you make every move to correct yourself.
Yeah.
Toward repentance and stuff.
Yeah. Showing a life of repentance,
Right.
wanting not to sin. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And a willingness to say, oops, I made a mistake and I want to do better.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the human condition.
Yes. So yeah, that's my favorite part about the book, because I think that brings the unity of the entire series, is the focus with our families and how they grow and how they learn, and Abigail's growth in learning from the beginning how innocent and ignorant she was on many things,
Right.
and how she just grew to be Abigail the wise.
Yeah. Well, you get so attached to these people, even though they're not real. And I think at one point in time you said to me, do you suppose they are real? Remember that? Remember saying that to me?
Yeah, I think they represent the life of real people that we don't,
Yeah.
that we don't know.
Right.
It just, the way the story came about was so quick. It was just miraculous how quickly the storyline just
It
started to
did.
unfold.
It did. It did. And it did unfold. It actually did.
Because we'd be like, well, what's going to happen next? And you're like, I don't know. What's going to happen next?
You used to ask me that all the time. I think you gave up because I never knew what was going to happen next. Really, I'd sit down and start writing, and there it would be. So that was that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Watching around for ideas. But then again, I was continuing to listen to people on YouTube. I mean, there's so many of them that, the way that I think probably in a nutshell that Paul described the little season best. But
Yeah, he has a very good
he was
overview.
very concise with it, But
But we started this series before
oh yeah,
any of that came out.
yeah, we did. Yeah, we
You know,
we were doing
we
it.
had a
We were doing it before.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, but it's a great confirmation to me. I know I was listening to Jason Jack, and I said, "Wow, this is just like." I mean, it was almost verbatim of what was in
Yeah,
volume
but
one.
that just came out,
Yeah,
and you had already written it a year ago.
right. I know it. I know.
So
That's just so
yeah,
absolutely
it
amazing. Well,
definitely has been a confirmation of a lot unfolding, because we only had hits and bits. We had little informational pieces that we were gathering from, and then, but mostly it was just the revelation of the Holy Spirit
yeah.
into the story.
But you hate to go around and say, hey, the Holy Spirit told me, because when people say that, it's like, come on. But I did feel, I felt led,
Yeah.
I felt obsessed. I mean, I would wake up in the morning and I'd say a quick prayer and it was bam, or maybe I had a dream. Now, I didn't tell you about a dream that I had, ironically, on Easter Sunday.
Oh no.
Well, they're calling it Resurrection Sunday, but this dream I had was I walked out into my garden, what used to be my vegetable garden, and there was a big hole out there. And if you've ever seen what kind of damage woodchucks can do when they come up, but that's a small hole. This was a human sized hole. It was like there had been someone in there that came out of the ground. Okay. And Jorge came in and told me about this. He said, there's a big hole out there. And I said, what? And I looked out the window and I couldn't see very good. You know how it is in dreams. And I walked out there, and my friend Alice was ahead of me walking out to this hole, and she was barefoot. Now, Alice
Okay.
is 95 years old. And
Hmm.
it's been a long time since she walked like that, but she walked just fine. Okay. She walked out, she's standing there looking down at the hole. And I said, well, I don't need my shoes either. If she's doing it, I can do it. So I walked out there beside her, standing beside her, and over to the side a little bit, there was a spring coming up with beautiful, the sun was shining, and the water that was coming up out of there, it wasn't coming up real hard. And I remember thinking, wow, that looks like the living water. That looks like living water coming up out of there. So I mean, I dream about these things, and I dream about the people. Now I don't know what Alice had to do with it, um, except that, well, I just love Alice, and I know that she's getting close to crossing over. Her time is coming real soon, and she's very much at peace. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a very nice dream to have.
It is very nice. And I think, I mean, the universal truth of the gospel of Christ and his living water, his life to us,
Yeah.
that is what's captured, and anybody can relate to the story as being children of God, and understanding that salvation that he brings to us. And I believe the story really captures that well, you know, of just he's
Well,
our life. He's our living water.
yes, I know. I know. Well, I mean, I didn't really have a big plan for today because we've failed so often that I feel.
So much we didn't expect
And
to
then
actually get on here.
yesterday we had a phone conversation that was like an hour, you know,
Yeah,
and we talked about a lot of stuff yesterday, but of course we didn't
yeah,
capture
we
that.
did. We did. I mean, and one thing that's been on my mind lately, obviously, with the Easter and all the pagan counterfeit holidays of days that, were to be worshiping on, how the confusion of that and the confusion of times and the confusion of days and how that was done on purpose. Um, it's Hasatan is very manipulative. He's very coy. He knows how to trick us into getting on his
I was listening
calendar
to what
and
I
his
believe
days.
is a secular channel
Yes,
about
yes,
Tartaria this morning, and I don't know how I got there, but I liked it because the guy was actually talking with his own voice instead of AI. And he was
hmm
showing things, but I went into the chat and I could see, okay, I don't know how many of those people in the chat were actually Christians,
yeah,
but I could see the general frustration of people that are waking up to the idea that something big happened and they've covered it up.
yes,
That there
yeah,
was a civilization that had all kinds of technology, and Now, how could all that technology be? There was no fighting over technology. There was no money crossing hands with this technology. These people were just, they had the time, they had the peace in their lives to work out some of these ideas. And of course, who knows what Yahuwah was giving them for ideas.
Right.
So, what technology did they have? They had airships. And
Yeah,
over
know
the
that.
course of that 1,000 years, we saw how they developed.
Well, and I think sometimes people can't wrap their head around that being erased. Like, how can they cover all that up? I mean, they've erased time itself. They've
Yes.
changed and altered the times.
Yeah.
They've changed and altered our understanding of the technologies that we had. They've changed our history, and
Well, they converted
even
all
in the
all
works.
that free tech over to
Yeah,
something that you have to pay for now.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they haven't taken everything from us. There are still works available to us that tell us these very things, that
Yes.
tell us that there are those that work for Hasatan that have changed these things.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and I know I told you I wanted to read from this little section in the Book of the Bee
Okay, please read
that
that.
tells us that. And this work is from, they say, from the early 1200s or whatever, but it is called the Book of the Bee. And it says here, and know, my brother readers, that there is a great difference between the computation of Ptolemy and that of the Hebrews and Samaritans, for the Jews take away 100 years from the beginning of the years of each patriarch, and they add to them the end of the years of each of them, and they may disturb the reckoning and lead men astray and falsify the coming of Christ, and may say the Messiah is to come at the end of the world and in the last times. And behold, according to their account, he came in the fourth millennium, for so it comes out by their reckoning. So here we have an attest to they changed. They changed all the way even to what year we are in time. We can't even trust where we are,
No.
2026, that they say that we are. And if they can't, if they can change that, why can't we believe that they can change everything else or anything else about history, about the millennial reign having happened, about the technologies that they would have had, and how our living was. And even in that, we get clues, even in the small amount of history that they give us, that the millennial reign existed and that it is here. But they mask it with this view of, oh, this is a story written in the Middle Ages. It's a legend. It's a myth, right? In the form of unbelievable accounts of just stories instead of believing and understanding them to be history. And that's,
Well,
I think,
I mean,
where manipulation.
when I look at medieval, I always thought that was just, the Catholic Church, you know, took over everything. And there was the peasants, and then there was, there was the clergy, and the clergy had it made, and everybody else was, hungry and barefoot. That's the way I looked at it. But then they had these artists that were creating art at all, I don't know. In college, I had to look at this art, and I didn't think it was my cup of tea at the time. I looked at it and went, okay, everybody's doing the Madonna, okay,
Yes.
and so there must be, I don't know how many of these famous artists that did pictures of the Madonna. But there were other, and one thing that, now there was some guy on there, I can't remember what YouTube channel it was, but he was comparing the way that some of these resurrected saints looked, okay, with their halos and everything. But one was in Argentina, one was in Australia, one was in Ireland. How could they all look, how could Paul, the Apostle Paul, for example, look very similar in all these places if they hadn't
To
seen
Paul
him?
in another artistic work, completely
Yeah,
independent.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
just,
it was
just
like that with all the apostles, Peter, John, all of the different paintings and works around the whole earth, they all look
yeah,
exactly the same as far as the features, the facial
yes,
features,
right,
with
right.
a different stylist,
Yeah, but it would be the same thing
depiction.
with the buildings. I mean,
Yes.
they all have a commonality about them. But if you see one in Asia and then you see another one in Italy, there's a difference in them. You know, there's a certain difference, but they're so similar that you can tell they were actually. I mean, I don't say built by the same person, but built by the same intelligence. That's why, I mean, I didn't have a lot of this in the book about the resurrected saints building, but when somebody got in trouble with something on a building, they called in the building committee, the resurrected saints, and said, hey, what do we do? And then when they were building that secret library, remember that Hiram had them come in. This was underneath their library. Well, it was when they were building their library out there on the farm. And Abby said, I think we should put a secret compartment, a secret room underneath the building for artifacts and scrolls and books and things like that, so that when this happens, when Satan is loosed, that will be hermetically sealed for someone in the little season to find.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
then that I think reflects real life history. We're always recovering and uncovering works that have been buried.
You know, Hiram said to her, I can't build something like that. He said, I'm going to have to contact the building committee and they're going to, so they came in one night, they put a fence up around there and they got up one morning and that was already there. So if you went into their library, they had an elevator that went down so that they could move all that stuff down there when things looked bad. You know,
Yeah.
they were going to try to preserve it for us.
Mhm.
And I think they really did a good job because no matter how hard Satan and his minions have worked to destroy everything, they haven't been able to. They haven't been
Right.
able to destroy all the buildings,
Right.
all
And
the art,
we see that in the real
yeah,
as well. There
all the
there are
books. They
works that
haven't
have
been able to.
been
Yeah,
uncovered. Yeah.
yeah.
And these, I mean, as recently, I know the hagiographies have been I think they've been attacked to be all false, but they're not.
Yes,
There are real
I know.
accounts of hagiography, and I don't think there has been enough exploration into the true accounts, the real accounts that are
Well, when you
legitimized.
see something getting attacked like that, if that was desperately attacked, you know there's
Yeah,
something to it.
I think
There's something good.
false
There's something
accounts were
really
put
good there.
forward to delegitimize the true
Yeah,
accounts.
right.
And we know that there are true accounts, but they have been most widely poo-pooed as, well, they just wrote things down because they wanted to venerate this person, so they made stories of levitation. Why are these levitation stories so massively reported? You think everybody is exaggerating? What happened? I think they were given true accounts of
Yeah.
what was happening at the time.
Well, I mean,
And
in the book, we don't exactly say what they did. There was a
yeah,
fence put up around there, and they got up in the morning. When Abby and Hiram got up, that was already there. So that had been created during the night because this was something that a human being could not do. Now, when you look at those monasteries that are up on these really peaky like mountains, really high up, they're still there. How did they do that? And I honestly think that that was not a builder like the people that we have in our story. That was built by resurrected saints, maybe with
resurrected
angels. Who
saints.
knows how that got there? But
Yeah,
it was
some
built
some of
well.
the evidence of the building that we have today just they seem to defy the ability of
Yes.
mortal human beings to
Yes.
actually create them and build
Right.
them, at least not by themselves.
Right. Exactly.
It
Well,
may
I
have
mean,
been corroborated events.
the book says one of the characters in the book turns to another one and says, well, the resurrected saints aren't going to do our work for us. But if we run into a problem and we cannot overcome it, we can call them in and they'll do the job for us. So,
And I think some of these works were completely done apart from mortals, like you said. Some of the
yeah, they
resurrected
might have been.
saints just doing them. Yeah.
They might have been. Some of them are just so magnificent that you can't believe the human beings. But I mean, that's not how our Creator works. Our Creator's given us creative abilities and wants us to use those. And these people had an opportunity to use those. They had the intellect. They had somehow they had the ability to do that, like build those beautiful cathedrals. And they did. And they had the satisfaction. I mean, when you create something yourself, whether it be your garden plot or your hen house or maybe some big building, to have the satisfaction that, wow, I did that. And they all knew where their creative abilities came from.
Yeah. And I think their creativity, the ability for that kind of creativity to be exhibited for people to spend that much time on the ability to create like that and make it ornate shows how they were not in a place of striving for survival, because you do
Oh,
not
no,
create like that when you're
no,
striving for to survive. If you have
no.
everything you need, that is when you have the time
And
and
money's no
for the
object because they didn't even have
to be
money.
able to do that. You don't do that
No,
under
no,
pressure of survival. And that I think in our current historical narrative that they give us, it doesn't make any sense. All these older buildings are just very ornate, creative, detailed. You don't put
right.
little applique detail and carve
No.
out these beautiful ornate structures when you're just trying to survive and find a
Right.
place for your family to live.
Well, I mean, you can look
And
around
that I
today
think
and
is the biggest testament
see what
to
we're building
things don't
today.
add up.
What are we building today?
Just boxes,
Yeah, yeah,
mostly boxes.
yeah.
That's what we create today. Yeah.
Well, we have created a video. We have succeeded in getting on and creating it. Now, I don't know how to go from here. I got to figure out how to stop this. Um, so let's just say goodbye. Now, you've got some things going on in your family, so you may not be available for a while. These are happy things that you've got going on, but you may not be available much until what, 1st of June, till you recuperate from all that. So, right?
I'm having a hard time hearing you, Mary Lou. So, what did you
Are you
say?
having trouble hearing me?
I'm having trouble hearing me. Yeah, just
I can't
or
hear
hearing
you. I'm
you.
having trouble. Off and on, I can't hear you. And I don't know
Okay.
what that means.
So did you ask me a question?
Yeah, I just said we probably won't be able to maybe do something like this again for your
Yeah,
schedule.
we can do this. We can do this again.
Whenever
Definitely.
you're available, I'm a lot more flexible than you, so you just let me know
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We'll
and
message
we'll
each
try to
other.
do this. Yeah.
Hopefully by then the sound will be better. If we seem to be a little disconnected, it's because we're having trouble with
Well,
the
I know that
audio.
we've got good microphones, but I don't know how
Mhm.
to plug them in or how to
Yeah, I don't
actually use them.
know how they work with the phones because
But
we're
we do have,
only able to
we
do
do,
the go
yeah.
live together with the phones.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking maybe I should just get StreamYard and do this on the laptop.
Yeah.
You know, it might be worth it to pay for StreamYard to be able
Yeah,
to.
I think they do have a free version. We'll look into that. But
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
we got
for
so
our
much.
audience today, if we seem a little disconnected, we're having a hard time hearing each other
Yes, we are. We are.
just a
So,
little bit.
but in many ways, this was a success. So
Yeah, I
let's
think
just
so.
be
We
happy with
got
that.
on and we
Yeah.
talked about a few things, and it's good to finally be live.
Yeah. It's better than the alternative. Okay, girl. God bless you.
God bless you too. We
Love
will
ya.
see you again.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. Press it. Do you know how to press end?
No, I don't know how to get off of here.
I guess we're
I have
still
no
on.
idea. I don't know how to stop it. Hello.
There should be like an end button.
I'm seeing things at the bottom
How fun is this?
there, but that's not has anything to do with this.
This is us in the real, that is for sure.
Yeah,
I don't, I think you have to do it on your end, Mary
I have
Lou,
to do
because
it.
you
I have to
started the
hang up
live
on you.
stream.
Well, I can always turn the phone off, but I don't think that's the way to do it.
There's not like an end button that you push?
Uh-uh. I see absolutely nothing on here to show me how to. Okay. Oh, remove
Maybe
guest. Okay,
somebody
so
from the chat can tell us.
I'm gonna remove you from the stream.
Okay, that's
Bye.
fine. Bye.
Bye. Okay, got her removed. Now I got to remove myself. End. Okay.